All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's Brother Yatazadak here with Israel. I'd like to start off by giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, Great Millstone. Right, so today we're doing Deuteronomy chapter 10, right? Going to the Hebrew, Lord willing you're edified, right? Giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, right? Let's get right into it. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 1 says, Ba'aitha ha-hawa amar Yahweh aliyah, right? In time that is, said Yahweh to me, right? The Lord, right? Sculpt unto yourself, right? 2 tablets, right? Because that word pasal means something sculptured, something sculptured or carved out, right? So the closest to that would be, right, something sculptured, right? Or you could say carved out, right? So it says stones, abanium, ka ra'ashnium, right? So it says 2 tablets of stone, like the former, right? Or it's like saying from like the first, right? So it just doesn't mean, in the beginning of something, right? Or right, Ra'ash means, for example, a head or a summit of a mountain, right? Salakia can be used to mean, for example, if you say Yomayim, Ra'ashnium, you would say the former days, right? Wa'al, Wa'al Aliyah Ha-Hara, right? And ascend up to me, right? To the mount, right? Let's see what else we got right here. It's block here. Satan is trying to interfere with the lesson. Just bear with me. Fix this damn thing. Right. Wa Ashayath Laka R1 Itaza, right? You make to thee, right, an ark of wood, right? That work R1 signifies, right? An ark specifically is a chest or a coffin, right? Itaza means wood, right? So it says verbatim would say, in time that is, said to me, Salakia, in time that is, said the Lord to me, right, carve to thee 2 tablets of stone like the former, and send them to me to the mount, and make to yourself an ark of wood, right? Verse 2, Wa akatab al Halachath, right? And I wrote upon the tablets, right? Ata ha-dabarim ashar hayawa al Halachath, right? To the words which were upon the tablets, former, or the first. Ra'ashnium, right? Ashar Shabarath, right? Which you broke, right? Because that word shabar means to shatter, right? Shatter glass, for example. right? Washam thumb, right? Slaki. Washam thumb ba R1. You will place them in the ark, right? Because an ark is just a chest, right? Ark is not. That's not a. It's not a. How do you say it? Um, supernatural item, right? Although that specific right chest was, because it had held holy items, right? It held the testimony, held Aaron's bud, manna which came from heaven, right? But the word itself is not super mystical, right? If I said it the right way, right? Let's look at ark definition. Salakia. Ark. Um, ark definition. Actually, let's look at the online etymology. Right. The word itself, ark, is not a super mythical item. Right. Just so you know. For those that need to know. Just means a large box or chest. Middle English, ark, arche. Old English, eararch. Old Northumbrian, ark, mainly meaning Noah's, but also the ark of the covenant, the coffer holding the tables of the law in the sanctum sanctorum, from Latin arca, large box, chest. Right? There you have it. Ark just means chest. Right? So behind the Hebrew word, right, there's no right supernatural meaning to it, or super mythical, or super deep. It just means chest. You know? So don't say, right, oh, the work R1 is the light which goes into the chest and it has the divine power. No, it's not what it's talking about. Right? So verse 2, and I wrote upon the tablets to the words which were upon the tablets former, which or Salakia, this is damn Satan. This is the Most High saying saying to Salakia, I was gonna say Noah because I was thinking about something else. This is what the Most High said to Moses, right? He said, I will write, right? So Salakia for that. So verse 2 says, and I will write upon the tablets the words which were upon it, the tablets, former, which you broke, and you will place to it in the ark. Right? So this is Most High talking to Moses. Wa Aisha or one Itazia Shatium, right? Salakia. So it reads in and I made an ark of wood of shittim, right? That's all that means. Shittim wood. Itazaya, right? Shatium, right? Shittim wood Bible. Right? Shitta tree, shata, right? That's what it is. A Shatta tree. Uh, trees belonging to the genera Bacalia and Viadherbia, both formerly classed Acacia, right? So it's Acacia wood. Um, can be found growing wild in Sinai Desert and the Jordan River Valley, right? So you can look into that, right? And right, Salakia. See if I can just get that in the blue letter. Salakia, I don't know what's going on. There we go. All right. So let's see. Salakia, verse 3. Right, because there's a reason why Yahweh Shemel Shai asked Moses to make it of shittim wood. Because it's got little spikes on it, right? Which gives it right here it is. A large tree growing in Egypt and Arabia having the bark covered with black thorns as blackish pods. The wood is very hard. When it grows old, it resembles ebony, right? So that's why, right? Um, right. So those black thorns is where you get that gum Arabic, right? Which is a lot of an ingredient to a lot of things. Now let's look that up real quick. Things with gum Arabic. Just look that up. All right. Gum Arabic can be found in deserts like gumdrops, low-fat ice cream, and desserts, Salakia. Gumdrops, low-fat ice cream, sugar-free candies, also used in sodas, beers, honey roasted and other seasoned nuts, candy-coated nuts, mustard, dried egg products, creamy dairy food, sherbet, sorbet, clouded cream cheese, dairy-based desserts. Right? So you get the point, right? Wa apasal shanaya lachath, and I carved 2 tablets of wood, abanium, ka ra'ashnium, right, like the former, wa a'al hahara wa shanaya halachath bayadya, and I ascended up to the mount and the 2 tablets in my hand, right? So it reads, and I made the ark of shittim wood, and I carved out 2 tablets of stone like the former, and I ascended up to the mount, and 2 tablets in my hand, and the 2 tablets in my hand. Verse 10, Wayakatab al halachath ka makatab, right? And he wrote upon the tablets, right? Like the writing, like the former writing, right? Kamakatab hara'ashwan, right? to the 10 words or 10 commandments. Ata Asharath Hatabarim Ashar Dabar Yahweh um um right, to the 10 words which spoke Yahweh, right, the Lord. Al Yakam Bahar Matawak, to you in the mount from the midst of the fire. Ha'ash Bayuwam Ha'kwahal, in the day of the assembly, right? Waya Wayathanam, right? Yahweh Aliyah, and he appointed them or gave the Lord to me, right? So it says, and he wrote upon the tablets, like the writing of the former, to the 10 commandments, which spoke Yahweh to you, the Lord, in the mount for the midst of the fire, in the day of the assembly, right? And the Lord placed them unto me. Wa upon wa arad man hahar, right? And I turned and I went down from the mount. Wa asham atha halachath ba arwan, right? And I placed to the tablets, right, in the ark, right? Because that word ba means upon or in, right? Ashar, Ashayataya, right? Which were made, right? Wayahayawa, um, Salakia, Wayahaya, Wa, right? Right, and we're there, hither, Shum, Ka Ashar, right? Tazawanaya, Yahweh, like which, right, commanded to me the Lord. So it says, and I turned and I went down from the mount, and I placed to the tablets in the ark, which I made, and they were there, like which commanded Yahweh, or the Lord. Verse 6, Wabanaya Yasha'ala, Nasai Wa, and the sons of Israel journeyed Ma Ba'arath, Benaiah, Yaquan, from the wells of the sons of Jachan, right, to Mazarah, there, meaning Shum or hither, died Aaron, Math, Aran, right, Wayakabar, Shum, right, and he was buried there, right, Wayakan, and he was priest, Eliezer, his son, in his place, Abanawa, Tachathia Wa, right, in his place. Masham Nasaiwa, from there journeyed, right, Ha Gadgad, Ha Gadgada, right, which is Gugad, here translated. Waman Hagadgada, and from Gudgad, Yatabatha, right, from Gudgad to Jotbeth, the land of the brook of waters. Rataza Nachalia Mayim, Ba'itha ha-hawa ha-badayel Yahweh. In time that is, he separated the Lord to the tribes of Levi. Atah Shabbat to the tribe of Levi. Atah Shabbat Halawaya. Halawaya. Right? It's kind of funny that it sounds like Halawaya. Right? But it's Halawaya. La Sha'ath. Right? To bear to the ark, Atah Arwan Barayath Yahweh, right? So the Lord separated the Levites, right, to bear the ark, the covenant of the ark of the covenant of the Lord, right? La Imad, La Panaya, Yahweh, La Sharathwa, to stand before the face of the Lord, to minister unto him, right? Wala Barak, Bashamwa, and to bless in his name, right? Ad Hayawam Hazah, even till the today this. So it says in a time, Salakia, in time that is, he separated the Lord to the tribe of Levi, to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before him, the Lord to minister unto him, to bless in his name, even till this very day. Verse 9, Al-Kan La'ahaya La Lawaya, right? Upon so, there will not be to the Levites a portion, halak, right? Or Salakia, halakwa, right? Which really is just right, just means to portion out, right? Wa nachala, right? To inherit, I'm Achyawa, to inherit with his brethren. Yahweh, meaning the Lord, he is their inheritance, right? Hawa, Nachal, Nachalathwa, right? So that word Hawa can be either he is, she is, it is, right? That is, right? Ka Ashar Bar Yahweh, Alahayaka, Alahayaka, right? Like which spoke the Lord, your power, right? So it says, upon so there will not be to Levi a portion and the inheritance with his brethren. The Lord, he is his inheritance, like which spoke the Lord, your power, right? To them, Lawa. Right? So you have, in the law, you have Lawaya can be used, right, as the word loan, which is not the literal word. It just means to join together. And then you have Ibat, which is the actual word for loan, right? So in the law, right, certain laws on usury and creditors, concerning creditors and whatnot, right? Wa anakaya imadaya, right? And it says, and I stood, Salakia, and I stood Bahar upon the mount, Ka Yamayim, like the days former, Ha Ra'ashnayim, right? 40 days and 40 nights, Arabayim Yawam, Wa Arabayim Layala, Wayeshamai Yahweh Aliyah, right? And you heard the Lord to me, right? Even Gum Bapayim, right? Hahawa, right? So that word payim, like I explained before, it just means one step, two step, or when you say this one time, or once again, right? Because that word payim, it means, right? Like say you strike, right, a piece of wood, you're striking it 2 times, right? Shanaya payim, right? Salakia Shanaya Payamyam, right? 2 times, one time, or once again, right? La'a Abba, right? So let's go back to right where it says, and he heard the Lord to me, right? Wayeshamai Yahweh Aliyah, and he heard the Lord to me, Gum Bapayim, even in time, right? That is, right? Or Salakia, even he was not willing, right? La'a Abba Yahweh Hashakayathka, right? Yahweh to destroy you, right? So it reads, right? And I stood in the mount like the days former, 40 days and 40 nights, and he heard the Lord to me, right? Right? Even this time, right? Because I read even Gum Bapayim in time, but really it's denoting even another time, right? But really, if you say it both ways, it's denoting the same thing, right? Because that word "aitha" means time, like another time. Acharya ha'aitha, another time. But if you say acharya payim, you're saying like let's shoot this ball, let's shoot this hoop another time, or it is in saying once again, right? If you get what I'm saying, because if you say I thought, you're saying it at another, right, another day, or another, right, a point, another hour, or whatever the case may be. You're not saying again, if you get what I'm saying, right? So Hawa, he was not willing, because that word Abba means, right, you're willing, right, to draw a portrait, right? If you're not willing to draw the portrait because you don't feel like it, right? That's what that means, right? So it says, and I stood upon the mount like the former days, 40 days and 40 nights, and you heard Yahweh unto me, right? Even this time, right? And he was not willing, the Lord, to destroy thee, right? Why Amar Yahweh, Aliyah Kwam Laka, and he said the Lord to me, rise, go, laka, right? That's what that means. To go, to walk, right? Um, um, la, la Masai, right? Because the word la meaning to, ma meaning of, the word sai means to journey, right? The real word is nasai, meaning to pluck up, right? As in packing up the camp and journeying, right? Or pulling up the camp, right? So he's saying, and he said, the Lord unto me, rise, right? Go, right? To journey, right? La panaya ha'aim, right? Um, before the face of the people, right? Meaning, right? March up to the head of the people, get to the front of the encampment, and march ahead of the Israelites, right? Waya ba'awa, right? Waya yarashwa, right? They will go in and they will possess to the land ata rataza ashar which, right? I have swore nashabai thaya Salakia nashabai thaya, right? La abatham to their fathers, lathath laham to give to them. And he said, the Lord to me, rise, go, right, journey before the people. They will go in to possess to the land which I swore to their fathers to give to them. Wa'aitha yasha'ala ma Yahweh alahayaka. And now Israel, what is the Lord your power, right? Sha'al, meaning to inquire, of thee, ma'aimka, right? Ma meaning of, aim meaning with, ka meaning with you, right? So what does the Lord, right? Your power inquire of you, right? Or require of you. But here it says demand, right? Kaya la yara'a, right? Because if to fear, right? But really you're reading it in the sense of because if that you should fear, right? Ata Yahweh Alahayaka, to the Lord your power, to walk, la lakath, right? In all his ways, Bakal, the Rakyawa, right? In all his ways, right? Wala ahaba, and to love him, Atawa, wala ibad, Atay Yahweh Lahayaka, and to serve to the Lord your power, right? That's what it's saying. Bakal lababka, wa bakal napashka, upon all your heart and upon all, or it's like it, and all, right? Upon all your heart and upon all your soul, which really it just means with all your heart and all with all your soul, right? So it says, and now Israel, what does the Lord your power inquire of thee? Because if to fear to the Lord your power, to walk in all his ways, and to love to him, and to serve to the Lord your power upon all your heart and upon all your soul, right? But the simplified version would be, and now, Israel, what does the Lord your God require of thee, right? But to fear, right, to the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, and to serve him, to the Lord your power, to the Lord your God, with all your heart, with all your soul. Lashamar atha matazawath Yahweh, to keep to the commandments of the Lord. Wa atha hakwath Yahweh, right, to his statutes, right? Ashar anakaya matazawaka, which I have commanded thee this day. Hayawam latawab laka, for good, for your good. Hana la Yahweh alahayaka, behold, to Yahweh your power is the heavens and of heavens of heavens. Hashemayim washamaya Hashemayim, right? Meaning, as it is written, the heavens and the heaven and the heavens of the heavens, right? Ha Ratazah, the earth, and all which is upon it. Wakal Ashar Baha, right? Behold, to the Yahweh your power is the heavens and the heavens of heavens, right? The earth and all which is upon it, right? So this makes it clear there are three heavens, right? You have the heaven, right? You have right, an earthly heavens, right? You have the heavens, which are the waters, above the waters, right? Then you have the third heaven, which is, right, the fourth dimension, right? The things that the eye, the heavens that the eye cannot see, right? So Esau's heaven is here on earth, right? Because he's the wicked, right? You have the heavens of the heavens, which is the actual skies and clouds, and then you have the fourth dimension, which is the third heaven, right? So let's see. Let's just search this, see what it says. How many heavens are in the Bible? How many heavens are in the Bible? Let's see what we get. No, that's not scriptural. 7 heavens. Stupid. Right, Genesis 28 and 12, right? So yeah, there's 3 heavens, right? Not no damn 7th heaven. Because we go into the Greek, right? The book of Revelation, where the Lord said, I create a new earth and a new heaven, right? Which is a refreshing, right? That word Hadash means to renew, something new or refresh, right? So when you say new moon, you say Yerach Hadash, right? But that word heavens in the Greek is signifying a rulership as well, right? Which is Hebrew Israelite milk, right? If you're new to this, then that's one of the things which are you should know already, right? Verse 15, Rakwa ba abathayaka, right? Only upon your fathers, right? Delighted Kashak, Yahweh, la ahaba, delighted the Lord to love them, Atham, Wayabachar, And he chose upon their seed Bazariah after them, Salakia, right? Bakam upon them, right? Makal Ha'amayim from all of the peoples, Kayuam, like today, this, Hazah, right? So it says, only in your fathers delighted the Lord to love them. He chose, right, in their seed after them, right? And he chose their seed after them from all of the peoples of the earth till this very day, right? But it doesn't have to say all peoples, Rataza, right? Because this is simplified. The scribe is getting to the point, right? So you can already picture and know what the rest is signifying, right? Let's examine that word chashak, Salakia, chashakwa, right? Which is really chashak, right? But, right, the qua is to distinguish, right? Right, so, Salakia, Deuteronomy 10 and 15, right? Deuteronomy, let's get 15. Oh, man. Deuteronomy 10 and 15, Salakia. Satan. As soon as you read the word, right, you start to get tired, your mouth gets dry, and everything. Crazy. Deuteronomy 10 and 15. Ishak, or Kashak, Salakia. That word Ishak means to extortion. Chashak, right? Right, or right, Chazak. You see, I didn't say it the same way, right? Meaning to strengthen, Chazak. Ishak, or Chashak, right? Chashak is not the same as I would say Chazak. Right. It says properly to join together, which is not right. Lawai means to join together. Right. Chashak, to cleave to anyone. That's not what it's talking about. Right. The Arabic says Ishak, to cleave to a girl, to burn with love for her. Nope. Right. To like to do something, to join together. Right. Let's look at the precepts, which is one which you will get is in Deuteronomy 21. Deuteronomy 21 and 11. Waya Salakia, Wara'ayath, Ba Shabaya, right? And you, right, you see, right, upon the captives, right? Because that's what it means, captivity or slavery or captive is Shabaya. Ashath, a woman, right? Yapath, beautiful. The R, a visage, Wachashak, hashak, hashak, wa, wachashaktha, right? And you delight upon her. Baha, walakwath, right? To take to thee, laka, for a wife, la asha, right? So it means to delight, right? There's many other precepts that will tell you the same thing, right? Let's see. So we already read Deuteronomy 10 and 15. We read Deuteronomy 7 and 7, right? So you'll run into Chashak in Exodus 27, right? Which means to fillet, right? Let's get that real quick. Kol Imadia Ha Chatazar, all the pillars of the court round about, Sabyab, Machashakim, right, will be filleted, which means you're just putting a silver brace around the courts, right? Will be braced with silver. Wa Wayahum, right? And this says hooks, right? Which are really like pins or nails, right? A peg, a nail, a hook, right? Because that wa means tent peg, right? Which is just a it just means nails in this sense, right? Right. So their nails will be of silver, right? Wa adanyahum, which that word that means socket, right? Adan, and their sockets will be of brass. Nachashta, right? Right. So let's look at the word Hashak. Right, join together, right? To be attached, to love, desire, bind, saddle, the Aramaic says, right? So that word delight, right, it means in the sense of attachment, right? So it literally means to be attached, right? Not joined together, that's lawaya, right? You know, so, right? And, right, literally it means to be attached, but delight is the closest after it, right? So, and all the pillars round about the court shall be attached with silver, right? That word fillet, it's just a fancy way of saying, right? You know, you're going to attach silver braces onto it, right? Let's see. I'm going to show you what it says, what it means. Fillet, not fish fillet, for you simple jakes. Fillet of silver, pillar, tabernacle. See what that says. See what we get. Right. Silver hooks in a tabernacle. Right. So this is the fillet of silver. So like it. Give you a simpler picture. Right. That's the silver fillet on the top, because it's like a square. That's why they call it fish fillet, because it's like a square. It's really just a cap of one of the pillars, right? Because it does describe that what you see in the picture. It really should be, this is the pillar and this is the fillet. Simple, a square, not that fancy design, right? This is the pillar, right? This is the nail. Salakia, this is the nail here, right? Which a nail, right, can be made, right, like a hook. Just it's the shape of it, but it's a nail. It's still a nail, right? This is a socket, a dan. Pillar socket, pillar, imadia, hashak. This is the wow. Right. For example, when you see when you hear Apostle Rob what is it? He's got a weird name. Um Aram Lab, right? When he goes, wow, he's really saying, you want to translate that into the Hebrew. He's just saying nailed it, because he's talking about wow, like wow, which means nail or nailed it. That's how the Hebrew works, right? You can say certain things, and it might mean, right, not to sound confusing, but right, it's figurative speech, right? Like when you say nailed it, right? That's how Hebrew works. It's figurative in speech as well, right? Which is chashak is a good example, right? Right. So yeah, right. Salakia. Chashak, right? Something what? To join together, to attach together, right? Kashak, not to be Salakia, because you don't want to confuse yourself. It's not to be joined together. Lawaya means to be joined together. To attach, right? So it means, right? Kashak, to attach, to delight, right? That's how the Hebrew word, figurative speech, right? So the Lord can delight in you, or you can build, right, an attachment onto a door, right, which is chashak, dalath. Dalath means door or hinge. That's what it means, right? It also means book. It's another word for book, because dalath means something with hinges, right? A book, when you open it, it's like it has hinges because it's held together by the middle, But anyways, did I read that already? Right. Right. So only upon your fathers has delighted the Lord to love them, and he chose their seed after them. Right. Um, from all of the peoples of the earth to this very day. Right. Deuteronomy 10 and 16. Wamaltham ata iralath Salakia. Wamaltham ata iralath. Right. So it says circumcise, right, yourself to your heart, to your Salakia. Circumcise, right, um, and circumcise yourselves to the uncircumcisedness of your heart. Labab come. Wa irab come. La'a ta kwashwa, right? And your neck will not be stiffened anymore. I wad, right? So in essence, it says, circumcise yourself to the circumcision of your heart, to your uncircumcised heart, and be no more stiff-necked, right? So let's look at that word for circumcision, Salakia, right? Circumcision, not even in the right book. Deuteronomy 10 and is that 16? Salakia. Deuteronomy 10 and 16. That word for circumcise is mawal, right? I believe the root is malal, right? To cut off, to circumcise. The Arabic says tahar. That's funny. To circumcise, to purge, right? Malal, to cut down. Malal, right? Just means to cut off, right? To be cut off, right? Cut off, cutting, right? See if we can get some now. Mawal. Damn. Let's see what else we got right here. See, to cut short, curtail. Right. Let's see what else we can get. Something else right here. Circumcise, 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 circumcise. Right. Circumcise. Let's see. See if we can find something real quick. Bingo. All right, let's check this out. See what we can get out of this. See what precepts we can get out of this right here. Job 14:2, right? All right. So it says katazayataza, right? Means like the blooming. Yataza'a, he comes out. Wayamol, right? Right, and he is cut off, right? Wayabarach, and flees through. Katazal, right? Like a shadow, right? Wala'a Ya'imad, and he does not stand, right? It's talking about man which comes forth as a compared unto a plant, right? Let's see. So that word just means mawal or malal, just means to cut off, right? Because you have, for example, you're cut off in speech, right? So if you say, why did you cut me off? You know, um, or why did you cut me off, right? Right, would be lama namalia, ma mala, right? Because that word mala at the end, it means to talk, right? Because, right, you have the word dabar. Amar means to say, dabar means to speak, right? Naba means to prophesy, right? Mala means to talk. Yeah, so you got different forms, right? And I believe that word Mala might be Aramaic, right? But it's Hebrew, because it's all Hebrew, right? And you'll find out a lot of Arabic is just confusion, man, because they just switch the words around, and it's not meant for people who don't know various forms of speech, right? You got to know Hebrew, you got to know Aramaic, right? You got to know I mean, it's just confusion, man. You got to know there's another one. I mean, Sanskrit, because there's some Hebrew hidden in there as well, which is all right mingled in Arabic. There's another one too, Urdu, which is right confusion. Urdu means two camps, which really is talking about these Elamites, these East Indians, and so-called Arabs. They're all confused. They think they're Ishmael, right? They're bugged out. But yeah, but right, Malay is Hebrew too, because it's everything originates from Hebrew. Period. I don't care what you say. And it's facts, right? thus saith, right? The Holy Bible says that, right? But yeah, so that word mawal, right, which can be read as mal, wamal thumb, right, or malal, right, just means to be cut off, right? It can be used. It literally it means in a figurative sense, but it can be used in a literal sense, right? So you understand what I'm saying, right? Now let's look at that word uncircumcised, which is pretty easy to explain. Let's go back to it. Deuteronomy 10. Let's see what else we got right here. Salakia. Circumcise. So the root is irala. Irala or iral. Foreskin. Arabic says ayiralath. It's bugged out. Irala, foreskin, prepuce, iral, uncircumcised, Salakia. Uncircumcised. Salakia. I'm trying to read what it says right here. Having foreskin, circumcised. Salakia. Exposed, projecting loose, right? See what this says. Salakia. Iral, uncircumcised, to regard as uncircumcised, count as foreskin. Salakia. See if I can get a preset for this. Circumcised, 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 circumcised. Trying to see if I can find something else. Foreskin. Right? I'll be able to find something that says that. Alright, foreskin. I think I already clicked on that other one. Alright, let's check this out. Foreskin, 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 right? So it just means, right? Iral, literally it just means foreskin, right? But uncircumcised or Salakia, not uncircumcised, but let's see, yeah, uncircumcised, right? Let's see. Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy uh, um, foreskin be uncovered. Right, that's not what I was looking for. It's like, yeah. So many different. Here it is. Right, it's like, yeah. Right, so see, Genesis 17:14, right? The word is foreskin, and it's used as uncircumcised, right? But it literally just means foreskin because it says, and the foreskin, right? Foreskin male whose child whose flesh of his foreskin, right, is not uncircumcised, right? That's all it means. But it also means uncircumcised, for example, uncircumcised in speech, right? Because you're slow of speech. Basically, they're saying you're talking with your dick, and the foreskin is covering, like, keeping you from speaking right, right? Which means you're talking like this, you know. So if you, for example, if you don't know a language that well, you know, it's gonna be hard to pronounce certain things, and that's what uncircumcised speech means, right? And that's just, you know, the view is that if you're uncircumcised, that, you know, you're dirty, you know, which is why in the law it says, Salakia. So it's not really that deep. It just means, right? Um, it just means uncircumcised. It literally means foreskin, but also means, you know, unclean, right? For example, here's a good example, right? Leviticus 19:23, and because you go into the land, right? Um, and you plant, right, all wood, all trees of fruit of food, right? Um, and right, and there will be uncircumcised, right? Um, right, unclean are is its fruit, right? 3 years, right? They will be to you, right? Uncircumcised, you will not, right? They will not eat of it, right? It goes into that's a law in Leviticus. When you come into the land, you have planted all manner of trees of food, then you shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be as uncircumcised to you, but shall not be eaten of. Right? For example, we use certain pesticides, or even back then, you know, they might have, whoever was dwelling in the land might have defiled it with blood, or wherever the case may be. Right? Not only do you have to shed their blood, him that shed it, right? Which technically it was only done, right, when commanded, right? Jacob didn't go into every land and, okay, I gotta shed some blood, you know, or Abraham, gotta shed some blood, you know. No, that's not what it's talking about. But here, you know, in order for the for it to be properly growing fruit, right? Even today, you could do 3 years. That's enough. That's enough to wait. You plant something, you wait 3 years. If you're planting it on land, right? Even if you don't plant it on land, you have some crops, right? The soil still carries it still carries whatever defilement it had on it, right? So you would plant, trees, wait 3 years, right? And then you will eat of it, right? Leviticus 19:23, Wakaya, Taba'awa, and because you go in, Allah Rataza to the land, right? Wa Natai Thumb, and you plant, right? Call Aitaza, call Aitaza, all trees, right, of food. A call, Wa Iral Thumb, right? And, right, they will be circumcised, right? Iral Thawa, Iralathwa, right? Unclean they will be, Atha Parayawa, to its fruit, which here is translated, right, as uncircumcised, right? You shall count uncircumcised, circumcised, right? But it doesn't say that, right? It just means it's not eatable. So it doesn't say uncircumcised twice, right? The second time it says it, it's denoting the fruit being unclean. Hence why it's called uncircumcised, right? Shalash Shanayim, 3 years, right? Yahaya, they will be to you, Lakam, Iralium, right? Uncircumcised, right? Right? La'a Ya'akal, meaning they will not eat of it, so that's what it's talking about. Right, so it says, let's see how much we got left. I think that's it. 22. Con. Alright, good. I don't want to take too much time on this. Salakia. Verse 17. Kaya Yahweh Alahaya come. Hawa Alahaya. Because the Lord your power, He is, right? Hawa Alahaya Ha Alahayim, right? Because He is, right? The power of powers, right? Right? And Lord of Lords, Wa Adonai, Wa Ha Adonayim, and Lord of Lords, Ha'al Hagadol, right? The power great, mighty, Hagabar, and fearful, Wa Nara'ah, Waha Nara'ah, which Ashar La'ah Yasha, He does not lift up, Panayim, faces, meaning He's not a respecter of person, right? Because He sits in the heavens and judges, right? So He doesn't, uh, for example, you have a group of school children, and one of them's crying, and he may be crying because he did something wrong, right? You're not going to say, "Oh, it's okay, buddy," because God knows that what he does on the left and on the right, that's his will. He's not going to say, he's not going to do that. He's not going to lift up the face because he's omnipotent. He knows what was, what is, what's done on the left, what's done on the right. And there's no respecter of persons, right? Because what you do, has a consequence, right? That's all that means. He's not a respecter. Basically, this line is saying that he's not a respecter of persons, right? Wa la'a yakwach shachad. And he does not take bribe. That's what shachad means, bribe, right? Bribery, right? Um, verse 18, Deuteronomy 10 and 18, Aisha Mashapat Yatam, right? Um, making judgment, right? The word Yatam means orphan, widow, wa almana, right? Which means widow, wa ahab, gar, and loving the sojourner, lathath, to give to him, lawa, laham, bread and clothing, wa shamala, right? Um, verse 19, wa ahabtam, atha hagar, and you will love to the sojourner, because kaya, karyam, because sojourners you were, hayayatam, ba'rataza matazarium, in the land of Egypt. Ata Yahweh Alahayaka Tayara'a, to the Lord your power you will fear, to him, Atawa, Ta'ibad, you will serve him, right? You will fear, and him you will serve, Wa'abawa, Ta'dabak, right? And upon him you will cleave. The word tabak, it literally means, right, to cleave or to glue together, in the sense of glue, right? So you have tabak, clean, or it's like a cleave, glue together, in the sense of holding fast, right? But it literally means to cleave together, right? You have chashak, to attach, to join together, lawaya, right? And so on and so forth, right? Wa bashamwa, and in his name you will swear, tashabai. Hawa, tahalathak, right? He is your praise, which is where you get the word tahalayim, which means psalms, which really it means praises, right? So when you say, right, certain words, you don't have to put the halal, like halal. You can put just one la because it's halayim for plural, right? Which is why Psalms is called talayim or tahalayim, salakia, tahalayim, right? It just means praises, right? So you would say all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You would say call halayim la Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? So yeah, Wahawa Alahayaka, and he is your power. Ashar Aisha Ataka, which made thee, right? Which has made to thee, right? Ata Hagadalath, too great. Wa'ata Nara'ath, too fearful, right? These Ha'Allah, which you have seen. Ashar Ra'awa Ayanyaka, with your eyes. So he is your praise and he is your power, which he made unto thee, to these great things and fearful, these which you have seen. Right? So it doesn't say things or deeds or anything like that, but again, the scribe wrote it, right? To pack in there as much as information as possible without having to say extra words. Last verse 22, Bashabayim, right? Napash Yaradwa, upon 70 souls, right? Went down your fathers, Abba Dayaka, to Egypt, Matazar Yama, right? Wa'aita Shamka, and now has placed unto thee, right? Yahweh, Allahayaka, your Yahweh, the Lord your power. Kawakabya, Ka meaning like, Kawakab meaning star. The Ya makes it plural, like the stars of the heavens. Hashemayim, for a multitude, La Rab, right? So it says 70 souls they went down. 70 souls went down your ancestors to Egypt, and now, right? He has made thee the Lord your power, like the stars of the heavens, for a multitude, right? So that's it. Deuteronomy chapter 10, right? Going to the Hebrew. Lord willing, you ratify to giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Kwame Yasha Allah, Abba Ball, and Shalom.